Hey everyone, it's Known Fact, here with a little interlude episode on our Tactics Ogre playthrough. So what's this all about? Well, in the last episode, we left off just entering Chapter 4.
Balsaphon admitted to the lie. You heard him, Volok.
It's his brother, after all. Balsaphon has shown poor judgment, but who are we to find fault?
Hey, what's going on here?
Men are governed by passion.
So Law has a special
Rules and
quest
reason are not
involving
enough to bind
Ozma. So, I said yesterday,
He played me
or during
for
the
a
last
fool.
stream, that we're going to be doing some
say
time
nothing of my
rewinding to get some
parents,
different variables and
Palscacius,
scenarios, and to
even
get the footage
Lodis.
for that for you guys, right?
I know, but the High
This
Champion's
is one of the
orders
reasons
are
we're doing
quite
that.
Clear.
Ozma has a quest
He's
line
to be
here
charged for
that
his
has
crimes after his
3
return to
different
Lodis.
endings. Technically 4, but only 3 that are really acknowledged by the
High
game.
Champion knew of all this.
So when
He
you
and
enter the Law
Balsaphon
Chapter
keep
4,
counsel.
you'll get this
I
you'll
cannot
get this
believe he
cutscene
knew nothing
and
of Hobrim.
a
Speak
Warren
no
report
more,
talk
Ozma.
about there being a
Return with
rift
me
in
to
the
High
Knights,
Champion,
right?
For my sake.
And this all
If not
stems
your own.
from Ozma seeing Hobrim in
I can't go back.
the battle we had at
Not
Rhyme,
like this.
and then Balsaphon basically lying to her about the fact
Ozma!
that his brother was dead, and he's planning to marry her, and she was
Leave
like
Ozma to me. You're to return to
Hobrim's
High and make a
fiance,
full report
so
to the
he,
High
like,
Champion.
didn't just kill his
Sir.
father, he blinded his brother, pretended he was dead, and tried to take his fiance. So he's on Ozma's shit list right now. And that's where we get this cutscene, Ozma's suspicion. So what this triggers is a battle at Krysaro after you have beaten the Sherry battle at Hagia Bamamuda. Or it might even be the volcano battle before that. But basically you have to proceed up to the point. However, here's one of the rarest scenes in the game, Ozma's return home. What you do is you trigger everything to the conditions for it and
See her
never show
safely
up.
to Lodis, and you'll be well rewarded.
So whatever happened there got resolved between the knights themselves. And here we see Ozma in a wheelchair. This is probably one of the most fucked up scenes in the game.
Are rife with pirates. Can't hardly spend no coin if we're dead now, can we?
Which do you fear more? Pirates who may or may not exist, or me?
So I'm not going to have commentary for
Only
the
jest,
entire way through this
Lord.
because there's some
We're only too
very
happy
minor
to
battles,
ferry the
but-
lady home.
this shit is wicked. And I think this must be the rarest scene
I
in
will
the
join you
game.
in Lodis as soon as our task here is done. I shall sail with the first ship.
You have to be on the Law route. You have to trigger the rift.
Do some spit
And then you
on
have to
your cheek.
purposely avoid
There.
stepping on the
That's
tile for
better.
a city you almost always go to. So yeah, she's like
Ever
paralyzed
Beauty, you
or something like that.
will be married upon my return.
And she's gonna be
as
forcibly married to
promised.
Balsaphon.
I
for
will
her, like,
always
family's,
love you,
like,
Ozma.
You know,
Never doubt it.
prestige. It's just like the most undignified end possible. Also, her brother's dead. Yeah, that's a fucked up scene. What's more fucked up is you have to play all the way to Brigantys Castle to get that scene. So that's why one of the reasons I did this off screen. That's so much
I
content.
reckon both armies are headed home to lick their
Now,
wounds.
then I rewinded back to chapter
Way I
2
see
when
it,
we could
he
recruit
owes me some
Xapan,
coin.
and we're going to
I'm off
refuse
that
him
Monica
here.
to collect.
This is the refusal scene when
Say,
Xapan asks to join.
You're not headed that way,
And this
are
is
you?
will also unlock
If
an
you need
extra
another
scene in chapter
sword,
4.
you
This
can
is
hire
another
mine
one that's
for a
got a
sword.
long tail to it that the Law Route has.
A wanted man in our midst might draw unwanted attention.
No, that's a pity. I thought we'd get on like geese on bread.
Great line.
I'll be seeing you around then.
I like Xapan, so it sucks that, like, you have to kind of make a call between whether you want to get a hard-to-get battle and scene in Chapter 4 or have his dialogue in various battles throughout the other chapters. Honestly, I think the latter is way better, which is why I always get him first instead of denying him first. So up next, we have ourselves a battle. Now, I've cut these battles down to basically their intros and then the dialogue scenes and the outros. Mostly because these are like different permutations on battles we've already done, or different endings for battles we've already done, right? So I mentioned this before, this Tynemouth Hill battle against Gatialo in chapter 2, I want to say.
I had hoped to avoid
Basically,
the attention of the resistance.
in the normal way of playing, he will escape
That must follow.
while you're fighting
Alas.
the healers, and then you'll finish off the healers after he escapes.
High Commander, we'll essay to hold them here. Withdraw to Sonji.
However, if you kill either of the leaders before he escapes, the other will become enraged, and
No,
it's a
my
battle
Lord
to the death
Gatialo.
with both leaders.
You cannot throw away your life.
And
here.
more importantly,
Galgaston needs
if you defeat
alive.
Gatialo,
Return to our
it
holdings
will
at
affect
Coritanae,
chapter 3.
there to reform our lines.
He will not be the High Commander anymore to make decisions for the Galgastani, and so there's a battle that'll be different.
We are prepared to die. We have always been so. Besides, you're in no condition to fight. He wouldn't reopen wounds so freshly closed.
If you remember
and
back to the
ruin
stream,
our
I
work,
actually got
would you?
surprised because I thought I could just kill her before he escaped into battle, and he'd run away. But no, he actually goes into a blood rage. So that's another way you don't have to catch him escaping.
Let
if you just
down
kill
your
her,
guard at
then
your
he will
own
fight you.
peril, Wallister. We are proud warriors of Galgastan, and we will fight to the last.
So I'm gonna do like basically a cut here to go over to dialogue. If there's even any dialogue to have, I might have skipped past Kashua being like, "Watch out, Denam, that's Gatialo," because we already seen it. Can't remember. Probably should have cut a little bit earlier. Oh well. Yep. So here is our kill strike on Gatialo. Gatialo.
Runt, you besmirch the glory of Galgastan. No.
No. A true hero of Galgastan has died today. Wallister devils! I will visit this pain in my heart upon you sevenfold!
I mean, honestly, he seemed like a real piece of shit, so kind of glad. In my Warren report, he's just gonna be dead. Since this will be the most recent thing I've written into it for that section of the game. There can be a little sketchiness with the Warren report anchors. For instance, Xapan, so I turned him down, right? So originally I thought I could just skip ahead to the next thing I needed to change. Nope, because I already had it written in the Warren report that he was in the party in one of the anchors in between, and so it didn't count. I had to literally play all the way through forward from the point I declined Xapan to get all this to lock in. Kind of annoying, and made me really glad I didn't do it on stream. So I can just give you guys this condensed version. So there we've set in place for a different commander to take over the Galgastani forces at Coritanae. Here is the cutscene where Leonard wants to have a talk with Denam about killing the Duke and taking over. Now in original playthrough, I had Denam decline to become the leader. In this one, I'm going to have him step up and take the responsibility so you can see the difference in how the scene plays out here.
The resistance teeters at the edge of the void. We lost a great many men in the Battle of Sonji, and each day we lose more to desertion. Why do you think that is?
I can't say.
Scene's actually decently long when you let it play out.
It is our leadership, or lack thereof. We were defeated at Sonji because we rushed into battle too soon. We moved before the enemy's forces were fully divided. And see where it has led us. Already we hasten towards a greater error. If we place ourselves at the mercy of the Dark Knights, we betray everything for which our kinsmen died. Think you not so? Until now, I have been patient. Too patient, perhaps. Triumph over Galgaston is more distant than ever. Wallister rots from within. Our resistance needs a new leader. I believe you are he.
You can't be serious.
The Duke has played his part. It falls to us to draw the curtain.
This is madness. Do you have any idea what you're saying?
Only too well, Kashua. Your brother sees it too.
You would murder the Duke, a man you swore to honor. I'll not believe it.
Sister, Leonor is right. If we continue down this road, the resistance is finished. Those who gave their lives at Balmamusa will have died for nothing. We must win this war, whatever the cost. The Duke is lost already.
Night and day, soldiers desert the Duke's army. The people love him not. But you have accomplished much. You have the people's trust and the vigor of youth. Yes, the people will see the brightness of our future in you. We could ask for none better to lead.
This is absurd. My brother is no leader.
Well, Denam, I say you are.
And here's where we make the different decision point. Yes, this is my calling.
If this is what our people need of me, so be it.
This jape has gone too far.
And Kosh was
Surely
way
the
less
people
supportive
will
of this
follow
call.
the man who slays their Duke. Always you trust to steal for deliverance. But where has it led us? We are beaten. Accept this and let us quit this island.
No, not yet. Our battle is far from over. Someone must bloody his hands, if there is none other with courage to do so. Let it be me.
To me, this answer feels more in line
Well
with the
said,
law route, Denam.
You are a man grown now, and the role well suits you. When you act, the people will follow. The failings of the Duke are hardly a secret. But the people will not know where this new road leads. They lack the vision to see. They will turn to you to shepherd them, to be their courage. But there will be time for talk later. We must return to Almorica and strike before the Duke realizes aught is amiss.
And off we go. Man of Resolve is the title you get for doing that. So here's a minor battle. Like I said, it's one of those pick the way you get into the castle. And honestly, I don't think there's really much to say about this battle at all. We've done Brigantys under different circumstances. And it's just kind of a very minor battle with an NPC that doesn't have a lot to say. So we're going to do this one real quick. I think the guy's name is Kakrachos or something like that. It starts with a K. But it's Orgo on the other side, and Orgo's funnier, so... Yes, me, I'm sure. Hit yes. So here's our Brigantys self-curtain wall. Remember, this is when the Galgastani are occupying it, not the Chapter 4 one where there's the peaceful route.
You not find the warriors of Galgaston such lambs as the people of Balmamusa.
Kakranoros, that's his name.
Creep in the shadows toward Coritanae. But we've got your tail, Fox.
And of course, this map sucks. This is one of the shittiest maps to fight on, from your perspective. Because your ranged characters can't do anything, and your spellcasters have to kind of line up in a dangerous spot.
Those archers up there trouble me. We'll need to deal with them before making our approach.
And again, because the other battle has Orgo, where Canopus has a full-on shit-flinging contest, they felt the need to give Canopus a line here, even though he's not talking to anyone and nobody responds. It's just like, well, the other one had a Canopus conversation. This one should have one, and it's like one line. So this is kind of objectively the shittier option between the battles, I think. When we do our... I can't remember what I was getting ready to say. On our Chapter 4 playthrough, we're going to try to get everybody. So I'm going to try to pick the funnest battles in the non-important fights. Like the maps that are funner, when there's just really generic NPCs we're going against. I'll check the war and report for who the actual boss is and stuff like that, and just pick the ones that have the cool boss or the better level. So here's the Battle of Coritanae. This is where we fight Gatialo. Oh my god, why can't I remember his name? Anyway, we fight the High Commander here in Chapter 3, but since he is dead, he has been replaced by a lower tier commander named Apollonaire. However, there is still a conversation with Junon, and this is actually one of the more important conversations in the game. It's both thematically interesting, but also it's actually a flag in order to recruit another character. Like, Junon's past has to be discussed in a battle in order for you to recruit another character in the Law Chapter 4 route. So make sure you bring Junon here. Now, the annoying part is that it takes absolutely forever for the boss to start the conversation chain in this battle. So this battle took almost 20 minutes, the first 10 of which there was no conversation. So annoying. But you guys don't have to deal with that because I'm going to cut it short and give you the juicy parts.
A crafty ploy, Denam of Golyat. But this keep still stands, and by the might of Galgastan, she will not fall.
Again, I said this during the other version of this fight, but Junon and Denam are clear parallels in this route. And Denam needs to learn Junon's past in order for him to realize how close they are in their stories, because that allows him to speak on Junon's behalf in a later battle that matters in terms of recruiting someone. Because, you know, when he speaks for Junon, he's also speaking for himself, essentially. And it's the other way around. Like, in this conversation, you initially think that Apollonaire is telling Junon, why would you serve Denam?
Yunin! What are you doing with those Wallister blackguards?
Daisy, how many seasons have passed since we last met?
I like her name's Daisy.
If you are here, then Brigantys has fallen, and the traitors to the Hierophant conspire.
But basically, you can read a line she says here as saying the complete opposite.
I mislike your choice of words.
So instead of Denam, how could you work with Junon? It'd be Junon, how could you work with Denam? That's how close their stories come together.
You do not know the past of this man you called your ally, Denam of Golyat. His sword is wet with the blood of innocents, and his boots dark with the ashes of their village.
Who are you talking about here?
It is true. I have no desire to deny what I have done. Nor do I deny that it was a terrible mistake, a weighty sin upon my soul. All those who lent aid to Balbatos's blood war were ogres. Ogres in men's flesh.
You blame his eminence? It was you upon the...
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like this version of the conversation better than the...
You speak as though your own hands were not stained
Gatialo one.
with the blood of innocence.
Innocence?
Because Gatialo is such a shithead that it diverts the conversation.
I fought only the enemies of this kingdom, gnawing vermin like you, who place the blame for their own sins upon our lord.
This is me passing turns.
Killing the Hierophant now would do little to absolve my guilt. I was a man changed then. Those villagers, something dark inside me moved my hand to cut short their cries for mercy. I believed in my black heart that I did my duty for Galgastan, that I served my people even as I slew them. But what did I serve other than death? I watched as the light faded from the eyes of our people and fear grew in their hearts. I watched as the beauty that was Galgastan perished.
Foolishness! You would have us return to the years of Dorgalawa's rule. Is that it? When the Bakram and Wallister dined at the king's table, while the Galgastani were left to forage for scraps. You would throw away all we built this kingdom for. Where is the beauty in that, I ask you?
You decry the injustices of Dorgalawa while you wish them upon the Wallister? You would strip them and your own clansmen of their freedom. The Hierophant's justice has failed, and his people abandon him. Surely you see it, Daisy. You cannot build a castle upon shifting sands.
As you wish, you. We will let the battle decide who has the right of it.
And then I believe it's just the slaying line after this. I waited quite a while because of how long it already took this thing to get started. And she didn't say anything else, so time to put her to rest.
Glory to Galgastan.
I like the female knight design. It's too bad they don't show up more than they do as like important characters in this game. Alright, our next battle. I believe this is another one of the choose your way into the castle battles. Oh, no. So this is when you have the choice between going to the Sanji Weald or Lake Bordu. We did Sanji Weald before. Lake Bordu. And I forgot, Lake Bordu has our Necromancy battle for Chapter 3 in the Law Route. So it's almost objectively a more interesting fight. And this character does something really interesting that I think is a plot hole. I think this character creates a weird plot hole. We'll see here in a second. So in the Chaos route, we have Aurelius and Theobald. In the Chaos route, we have Cressida, her family. This is our Necromancer rep in the Law route, and it's optional. Like, you can just not choose this battle.
I expected a coward like you to slink
Munzer.
away from the battlefield at Sonji. But you've made a misstep. Look down at your feet, deep into the marsh. See something familiar? That's right. Your fallen comrades have been waiting here for you. And who am I to deny them the reunion for which they long? Denizens of the Abyss, from ink of blackest night, I summon you! Darkness to me!
There we go, warping in our skeletons and ghosts. And she's got a bunch of Lamias helping her too.
It'll be just like old times.
So basically, she said she's summoning the bodies of the Wallister that died in the big battle at the Sanji Weald for this fight. Or I guess the marsh itself, but like, I assumed that Sanji Weald battle was like really wide.
No wonder Coritanae fell to you.
So like, that's the line she drops after a while, and I'm like, okay, if she just drops a single line like that, she has to be done, right? And then she summons more people, like, okay, she doesn't have much to say here then. So we're gonna just go and finish her off then. Nah. We got that holy gun. Vaya con Dios.
Galgastan is finished. Whether Zabos realizes it or not, the ground has shifted beneath him. If you live through the coming battle, I am sure we will meet again. So long.
So she says this, and she doesn't chipstone, she does the crow run away. She doesn't die. I am positive this character does not reappear. Positive. I'm positive this is a dead end, like, plot hole character that just doesn't appear later, like, even though the game says she will. I don't think she even appears in Palace of the Dead or anything. Which is crazy. And here's one of my least favorite maps in the entire game. So, even though this is the other route on the law route for this battle is basically exactly the same as it is on the neutral or chaos route where we did this map before. Including the boss, including the lines. So I think this might be one of the few, like, completely identical battles in the game with nothing new added to it that is still considered a separate battle. So I got nothing to say about this fight. She doesn't even say anything to you, basically. I just used the bird formation to deal with her. And a couple well-placed grenades. So, I can't even remember what the alternate battle map is. I think it's the front gate with the golems. I think I would rather do that battle than this one. Honestly, if I have to choose, I'll pick the front gate. At least the golems can be, like, golem-baned and hit. And then you just need a couple flyers to take down the samurai quicker. Or he'll come to you. This lady never comes to you. So this is a Chapter 4 battle. Basically around the same time as the Ozma stuff. Maybe it's a little bit later. I'm having trouble remembering exactly. Maybe it's earlier. But if you decline Xapan, you can go to Golyat and he'll have a bounty hunter battle against you. And your goal in this battle is to knock him into critical health, kind of like Sherry. And you'll recruit him on the spot if you knock him down to critical health and you choose the right dialogue choice.
Been a long time, boy.
But honestly, it just makes the relationship between Xapan and Denam seem a bit more toxic. It's not as fun as recruiting him when he first asked you. So,
what else?
I'm tempted to, like, rewind the clock and get him the normal way, just for, in my head, for the Warden report to be like, they've been buddies for multiple chapters here. Xapan's kind of awesome when he isn't, like, hunting you down. He's your dwarf buddy. But this battle sucks. This battle's hard because it's a battle where you're trying to focus on one character and get them down to critical HP. But there's just so many chunky monsters in the way. Remember how there's, like, this corridor that, like, really locks you down to the upper left here? It really sucks with all these dragons and griffins beating down your back line, petrifying people. Now, unfortunately, when I tried to do this, I completely fucked up because I picked up a crit card with Vice, and I'm gonna freaking kill him here. So I'll show you my mess up, and then I'll show you me redoing the fight and actually hitting him down to the right amount of HP. Should have known. All right, and then we'll clip over to me actually.
Mercy! Spare my wretched life!
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Like, Denam sounds so mean to him here.
I always preferred he who fights and runs away.
Whereas
Not
he
too
seems to
late
really
hide
like
me
him
out,
if you
though.
recruit him
I
early.
won't even charge you.
A mercenary's only worth what you pay him. What does that say about you? Still, I think we'll get our money's worth, but I'll be watching you.
You won't have to worry none about me. Honest as the day is long, I am.
What have I gotten myself into?
Xapan's a bro. I hate that when you delay getting him, it treats him like this. Oh well. So now we have the actual Ozma battle. So this is what happens when you go to it.
Calm yourself, Ozma. I know you're upset, but you cannot allow your feelings to rule you.
I hunt a traitor who has committed unconscionable crimes against his country. What could be more rational?
You do not do this for your country.
Now the
This is
interesting
for
part
you
is
and you
there's
alone.
actually 2 versions for
With
the
the
Warren
war
report of
faltering, we
this.
cannot permit
One of
you
them
to
is
wreak
that you
havoc
bring
as you
Hobrum,
please.
and the other is that you
The
don't
situation
bring Hobrum.
demands unity
I messed up.
now more than ever.
I brought
We must
Hobrum
stand
and
as
thought
one.
declining her was one of the 2
Balsafon
variants, and then
realized this,
accepting her
else why
is
admit
one of the
to
2
his
variants,
mistake?
but it's not. So
You would have
if
us
you want to get
follow
like
our orders
all the
without
icons on
question?
your
In the name
timeline,
of unity.
you just
It is
don't
our
bring
duty.
Hobrum the first
There
time.
cannot be order without trust.
Balsafon lost my trust when he deceived me.
Because our
What he
goal
did, he
going into
did
chapter
for
4
your
of the next
sake.
stream
It was
is to
not
get
easy
perfect
for him.
recruitment, essentially.
And
Like just
I'm
the
to
perfect
accept
Warren
this.
report to end the
I'm to
game on and
trust
go
him.
into the
Listen
Coda
to
chapter.
reason, Ozma. I have no wish to lead you back in chains.
Sir Voloch, the resistance!
Here? Ozma, what are you doing?
What I must. I will see whether Hobrum lives for myself.
I believe this is one of only 2 battles where you fight Voloch. He's kind of cool, honestly. He's got like a, he's got a wind greatsword that does a multi-hit ranged attack. So like, kind of like the ideal Terror Knight, like, setup. Well, I mean, he doesn't have the Terror Knight, like, Lament to the Dead abilities, but like he's got, like, the ideal greatsword setup. Like, there is a way to get some of these Knight Commanders' weapons, and I feel like his is probably one of the ones you'd want to really get because of the nice elemental affinity and finisher. So, and this is my this is the time I mess up, essentially. I bring Hobrum and I give the negative answer, but technically that's not one of the things that matter for the timeline completion. Like, if you want to get every event, sure, but nobody's doing that. There's a single fucking human being that's done that, except for maybe the guy that does the Warren Report channel.
I am Ozma of the Knights Lothlorien, and I have a question for you. A blind swordsman fought us at Rhyme. Is he with you now? I know you can hear me, swordsman. Are you Hobrum von Rams or no?
So I decline. I lie, basically. No, I'm not Hobrum. And you can do this just to see it, but it's not going to be like a special
No, my lady.
progression
You may doubt as
on that
loud as you
timeline.
wish. My answer will not change.
The 2 of them are tell her the
So
truth
be it.
and don't have
You
Hobrum at
have
all.
forgotten me.
So
Forgotten your homeland.
if you want to
I will
get the
slay
bad
you
stuff
as I
before you
would any other
do all the good
resistance scum.
things in chapter 4, just don't bring Hobrum to this fight the first time. Well, actually, the first time you have to skip the fight. Here's the crazy part. And I was going back and looking at my old playthrough, and I think I only saw the Ozma wheelchair scene in a YouTube video. I don't think I ever got it on my own playthrough, so that was the first time I'd actually done that. And like, you literally have to go through half of chapter 4 in order to see that. Like, it's a complete wasted run.
So, this is Holden. You're really something, you know. Most men would have surrendered their sword along with their sight.
Because you also can't go to Quadriga Fortress because it's past this town. You can't step on this tile on the map, basically.
Does nothing escape you? I shall have to take blind swordsmen much more seriously. To watch you move, it is clear you are no common warrior. Let our steel sing, then. Your crimes against Lodis demand blood.
Strike me if you can.
Phidoch is kind of interesting in that he is, like, the most he's the least psychotic Black Knight, it seems like. He seems like, the epitome of a guy who does what his orders are. You know? Which means he will do some fucked up shit.
Never know.
But there's like, it's all business. You know? It's all proper etiquette in business.
Ozma, no!
And he does seem to care about his teammates. Though, the counterpoint you can say to that is, well, somebody put her in a fucking wheelchair when we didn't show up, and they were fighting before the scene here. So I guess Ozma resisted stopping the search for Hobrum, and then the Templar Knights fought her, and she got seriously injured in the process, I guess. To the point of being paralyzed and, like, unable to speak or move. I don't know, I imagine only Phidoch would be the one to be strong enough to do it.
Return empty-handed.
But I guess if you had to look how many Temple Knights he has with him, maybe that was enough. So there's the Hobrum lying version of the fight. And then I'll have the didn't bring Hobrum stuff right after this. Just, it'll be a nice and short scene. So yeah. So this is like, this is kind of a nothing burger, basically. It's like, oh, you don't have them? Well, you're not useful to me. Let's fight to the death. And then you do.
I have a question for you. A blind swordsman fought us at Rhyme.
But, yeah, this is going to be the last of the clips here, so...
The man you seek is not among us.
With
what
it ending
Dark Knights want with him?
That's about it I'm going to have for the commentary here.
And you're of no more use to me.
Be sure to come into the next stream or check the next video on the playlist. It's going to be a big one. It is our, essentially our perfect Chapter 4 playthrough on the Law Route, where we will recruit every character possible.
I will not leave until I have the truth.
And we will get up to, well, the goal is to get up to the Hanging Gardens. I plan to have 2 more interlude episodes here. So the second interlude episode will come after we've gotten to the Hanging Gardens, in which I will do all of the deep dungeons. That's Frump of Wildwood, Path of the Dead, Pirate's Graveyard, the Shrine. We'll do all that stuff off screen and give you the story highlights and the loot breakdown and stuff like that. So that we're not spending like 25 hours watching that. Watching me auto-battle deep dungeons. And we can move on. And then the third interlude I think will happen during our playthroughs will come in the Coda chapter, where there is a, hey, go to all the old dungeons and find some super bosses kind of stuff. And I think maybe I'll do an interlude for that. But anyway, that's all I've got for today. Hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you on the next stream.